What's up, everybody? Welcome back. All right, let's try that again. 3, 2. Fuck.
We're going on one or what?
All right, week
Christ.
7. First week, the bye weeks really hurt the slate. Fantasy football players out there.
I'm glad you said that because I kind of forgot that was a thing, and I need to check my fantasy team now. But
yeah, Thursday night. Make sure I had one of my matchups loading after I think it was like Tuesday, and his team was projected like 56 points.
I just checked mine. I'm at 82.
Yeah, no bueno. So if you haven't done that and you're listening to this, make sure you check. So we got week 7, officially a third of the way through the regular season. I know there's technically 18 weeks, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 18 weeks, but basically a third of the way through the season. So we're not going to have as many games to talk about this week. So we're going to talk about some like NFL based stuff, and then we'll talk about some of the games. Then we'll get to our cards, obviously our do or die picks. Do we want to talk? We'll talk about where the records stand when we get there too.
I have that pulled up right now. I can just read it off real quick. All right. So through 6 weeks, I am in first place at 24-23 plus 2.01 units. You are in second place, 25-22-1 plus 1.18 units. Ryan is in third, 17-19-1 minus 3.7 units. Zach is in last. He is 14-32-1 minus 12.45 units. I'm on a 1-game losing streak, and yes, Zach has been very, very, very bad. Honestly, the NFL is pretty tough. I'd say me and you through 6 weeks being plus 3 units combined is pretty good.
Yeah, but but people like on Twitter and like TikTok are saying like that like the books have lost the past 2 weeks in a row. Like they're saying that's why the refs like help the Titans on Monday Night Football.
Oh, I don't believe that.
I just thought the Titans played their best game of the season, like regardless of the refs.
Right. They played their best game, but also like how do you beat the Bills, in my opinion, is you have a good running game and you keep Josh Allen off the field, which is 2 things that they were able to do. And on top of that, it's like the refs might have done some things, but like if Josh Allen gets that first down, like they win the game. Right. It's not like they lost by like 7 points. And
they didn't call like a holding penalty on that play.
Right. But like it's like if they just get the first down on that play, which is Josh Allen too big to be good at QB sneaking. I don't know. He might be. But like the Bills are still like
elite.
Yeah, they're a
top 2 AFC team, regardless of your argument.
For sure. So they're very good. I think we saw that the Ravens, when they're playing their best football, can win it all. I think people had a little bit of – I think the Chargers are good, but I think people had a little bit of an overreaction to the Chargers because, like, the Ravens just pummeled them. So, like but the Chargers have had a rough stretch of games, but I still think the Chargers are good.
Yeah, I watched the games with the Chargers fan. Like, Sundays I spent with Brett still, and Brett's a huge Chargers fan. And like, I think it was like 2 weeks ago when they were playing the Browns. I was like, dude, you guys play like a good team every week. Like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, yeah, we play the Ravens next week too. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was like, I think it went like Cowboys, Chiefs, Browns, Ravens. Like that's a tough stretch, but I do think that like people were like, oh, Herbert for sure MVP, Chargers like could win it all, and it's like let's pump the brakes a little bit. They are good, don't get me wrong, but like the Ravens just beat your ass and took your lunch. I think Lamar's my MVP right now.
He's
throwing the ball very well this year, which makes it like even crazier because that's
makes him more impressive.
Yeah, right.
I agree.
That's always been his knock. I think the Steelers are like okay. I think they're just a weird team. I still don't know how they beat the Bills, but they did.
They tried their fucking hardest to lose to Geno Smith, though.
I mean, they were the first half. They were completely dominating that game. So like, it was just the wildest thing. I think when their defense does play, the problem with their defense is they haven't played 2 full halves in a game yet. Like against the Bills, they didn't play well in the first half and then shut them out in the second half. Against the Seahawks, they shut them out in the first half and didn't play well in the second half. So like if they can put it together, their defense is a top 5 defense. They just haven't played a full game, which you have to be able to be considered a full-time best defense. But
I mean, TJ Watt is basically 2 players. Like,
yes, yeah,
TJ Watt is basically like 11 and a half people on defense now.
Right.
Dog.
For sure. So
I would say then for like maybe like letdown side of things. I really thought the Washington football team was going to win that division going into the season, and they're 2-4, and they have to play the Packers this week, and then I think they play the Buccaneers in week 8. So they're probably going to start 2-6. So I really like Ryan Fitzpatrick too. That really sucked, but everyone was kind of looking forward to Taylor Heineke after what he did to the Bucs and the divisional round or the wild card round? Yeah, the wild card round last year in the playoffs. So I would say the Washington football team would be one of my letdown teams so far this year. And then I don't know. On the AFC side, I guess it's the Chiefs, but that's kind of the obvious team that's kind of playing below what everyone had them projected going into this season. The Dolphins. The Dolphins are definitely a letdown team. They're 1-5.
So I was cutting out. You're talking about the.
No, you're good. I was just I was just talking. So I would say my 3.
Speaking about the Washington football team, though, before you move on real quick, honestly, like their defense has been a disappointment, though. Like,
yeah, their offense is kind of over. But Taylor Heineke turns the ball over a decent amount.
Yes, but like they get compared to what their defense was supposed to be, and everyone thought that they were going to be like one of these legit defenses. They score enough points to win games.
They're the second worst defense in the NFL, maybe the worst.
Right.
Stat wise, not player personnel. And then I don't know if you heard the other ones. I said on the AFC side, I said my 2 letdowns would obviously be. One would be the Chiefs, but that's kind of like the no-brainer. But the other one would be the Dolphins. They're 1-5. I think everyone kind of saw them as kind of a wild card contender going into this season after what they did last year, barely missing the playoffs last year. So I guess those would be my letdown teams. And then
I think the Chiefs. I think they do have a very, very bad defense. I think their offense is just kind of bored, to be completely honest. I think they'll turn it around. I don't know if they'll win the division or what. That's with the Raiders having everything going on. Who knows about them? The Broncos seem to be coming back to what people thought they were going to be. And then the Chargers are good. So, like, who knows about that? I do agree with the Dolphins, but I think if Tua was able to play all year, I think they would be like 3-2 and not
at least
3-3.
Yeah, at least 2-4, which 2-4 is so much better than 1-5. Like
for sure, especially because a lot of teams, especially in the AFC, like 4-2 is the first place in the entire conference. So it's like
most divisions,
right? But I actually think the Colts are pretty disappointing. Like getting Carson Wentz, and on top of that, Carson Wentz has played well, and they're 2-4. And they haven't looked great. Their defenses look bad. Yes, they've had injuries and stuff, but I think they're pretty.
So have the Ravens, and the Ravens are 5-1. Like
that's for sure. That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
Like
I agree.
Colts, I think, are pretty disappointing.
That's where depth is super underrated in the NFL. Like you're starting 22.
Sure.
Same with the Bucks. Like they have all 22 coming back, but like who's 23, 24, 25, 26? Like
for sure,
they're no good. Who the fuck cares? So let's do a Super Bowl prediction real quick. Like right now, maybe not Super Bowl. Who do we think will be at the number 1? Who do we think will win the AFC, and who do we think will get the bye? So in each conference.
You want to just give 2 teams from each conference?
Like, who do we think will play for the AFC
The conference,
championship?
yeah, AFC
Okay.
and NFC championships.
Yeah, sure.
NFC, I think I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna say the Rams still.
I was gonna go Buccaneers versus the Rams.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that's the one thing that sucks though. I could see the Rams playing the Bucks
Bucks, yeah, in the
in
wild card or
the
whatever.
in the
Yeah,
divisional round because
yeah,
they could be 2-3, and then the
right,
Cardinals would get to play the worst team left.
right.
Um, it depending. I don't know. I don't know. With the Cardinals look really good.
They do.
It's weird. I don't know how the fuck is they're doing this, but their offense is insane. Still not like a true believer in the defense. I think the defense looks really good because the offense is having the ball for like 40 to 42 minutes a game.
Yeah,
So it's going to be really interesting when we see them play like also very controlling offense. It's kind of like we talked about, like the Titans were able to shut down the Bills overpowering offense because that's the thing, the Bills still scored 31 points when the Titans did that. So I guess right
that's
now,
what I'm saying. Yeah, that for sure.
I guess trying not to like predict the total seedings and just thinking about like who do I think has the depth to like make those kind of playoff runs. I would say Rams and Bucks. Is that who you said? I know you said
Yeah,
Bucks.
Rams and Bucks. Yeah, I said Rams and
Yeah,
Bucks
I
too.
like I like that a lot. I'm a big believer in the defense too. Like I don't know how the Chiefs really made the Super Bowl 2 years in a row without really having any sense of defense on their team.
I
But
think 2 years ago, their defense wasn't bad. Last year it was like trending bad, and then this year it's like taking a complete shit.
and they're hurt. They're a little more hurt too. Like
And
they lost people and it's hurt. So
and Sorensen is like the worst possible DB in
bro,
football.
he looks dumbfounded. When they played the Bills, bro, he was running in circles like trying to
Yeah,
find
it's
Spawn
bad.
and Emmanuel Sanders. Oh, that was so funny because I hate him too. So I really don't.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
bad.
So what about the AFC? I think I'm gonna quickly say the Bills and the Ravens.
That's who I think too. I think the Ravens actually go to the Super Bowl this year, but I would have to go Bills versus Ravens.
Yeah.
Um,
So
like
is what was
like you
that? What was
said
that
though, like
one guy's?
The Ravens have been pretty banged up and they're 5-1, looking like one of the best
Yeah,
teams in football. So like if they can get healthy too, that's only going to benefit them.
I forgot
Um,
that. What's that linebacker's name that got hurt preseason?
the dude from LSU you're talking about,
Peters? Was it Peters?
the DB Marcus Peters.
Oh yeah. I didn't know if was his season ending.
I thought he tore his ACL. I could be
Oh yeah,
completely wrong though.
he's done. I was wondering if because I knew J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards both were knee injury, so I couldn't remember if
Yes.
it was all of them. Wow, that is crazy. They need to fire their equipment manager now.
Yeah, and strength and conditioning coach for sure.
All right,
But yeah,
let's get to the slate then.
all
Um,
right, let's do it.
we'll talk more about the playoffs, obviously, the closer we get to the end of this regular season. So we're only going to talk 3 games today. Then we'll get to our cards. The bye week makes the slate not the most attractive, but there's still some
It's a
good.
bad slate. Yeah.
So speaking of 2 teams we just talked about a little bit, the Chiefs are going on the road. They're 3-3 to the now 4-2 Titans coming off a short week. Kansas City is favored as the visiting team by 4.5 points. And shit, I'm not using our sponsor. Bad boy. FanDuel sponsor, not a sponsor. I think it's the same on.
Same line, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the same on here. I just can't remember what the over under was, but I think it's still 4.5.
So
Chiefs minus 4.5, over under 57.5.
yeah, so honestly, this is almost like a must win for both teams.
You
The
think
Titans
so?
beating the Bills was huge for them because look, I mean, they played the Bills and they played the Chiefs. They play at Indianapolis and at Los Angeles and then versus New Orleans. That's a tough stretch, and they're 4-2. I think Indy has a pretty easy schedule coming up. So if they're able to rattle off some win, like you just don't want to be put in that position where you're fighting for your life. Now they do get to still play the Texans twice, but this is definitely, in my opinion, a must win for the Chiefs just because they're playing bad football.
It's definitely higher pressure on the Chiefs to win this.
Yes.
But I agree. The Titans would like to win this.
Yeah. I mean, badly, I think, but not as bad as the Chiefs need to. Yeah. But they get to play at home, which is big for them. Coming off a short week and a huge game, though, that is tough. But I would probably go Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to start to turn around now. I think this is like their time where they're like, fuck it, let's start rolling, let's play. Mahomes is, he's still Mahomes. He still had a few throws against the Washington football team that were like insane. I would lean Chiefs, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Titans covered or won. So
okay. Yeah, I was just looking up the weather. It's going to be high of 81, low of 57, like partly cloudy. So
that's perfect for that.
Kind of love this over. Both these defenses are very fraudulent.
And
not even fraudulent. They're just bad because no one
I was going to say,
they're going into the season. They're both just bad. 57.5. I like it. I like 57 over.
And the Titans like to run the football. Obviously, Derrick Henry is just a man amongst boys, and it's hilarious. Like every year, people have been trying to be like, this is a year he slows down, and he's just been continuing to almost get better.
That's the only scary part for the over is like Derrick Henry being a part of the game.
Yeah, but the Chiefs can't tackle him, so he'll break off an 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah, as long as it's not just a bunch, because all season his first quarters have been kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like
but like
he'll only have like
have you looked at his stats though?
They're insane.
Yards after contact, he'd be third in the NFL in total rushing.
Oh, yards. He's a dog. There's no doubt about it. I'm just saying for the over/under, I'm a little concerned if he has.
But it would have. But the Bills game, I'm saying that's something like that. It would be like that because the Chiefs defense is worse than the Bills, and like they were able to bust off 80-yard runs. Yeah, they can't tackle Derrick Henry better than the Bills could.
57.5 is a high number for NFL. So,
and
I still like it.
Mahomes and them have finally put it together. Like we got to score 60 to win every game. So,
also, I hope that Julio Jones
is healthy. Yeah.
Well, but I think they put him on the IR.
They might have. He's been so banged up.
Or no, they haven't officially put him on, but people are suspecting they will.
They will. That makes sense.
But I guess AJ Brown had food poison, was on the back end of food poisoning when he played on Monday.
Yes.
And he ended up with 70 something yards, 6 or 7 receptions. So I like AJ Brown. I think he's a dog.
He is good.
I'll look for a big game out of him without Julio being on the field. But I have nothing else to say about that game. I guess for spread, I would probably lean Chiefs. More weapons, especially no Julio now. It's basically they basically got to rely on Derrick Henry and AJ for all the production. So Chiefs, more talent, more weapons. I like that diversity on offense. All right, next game. We got my Chicago Bears. We got owned.
You did.
We got owned.
You did.
It actually wasn't a bad game through most at least 3 quarters of the game. The offense was still sad.
Aaron Rodgers is your guys' dad.
Yeah, I agree. I said we got owned. We are owned.
Yeah.
I also, the one thing, I'm cool with Aaron Rodgers saying it because it's true. But I don't know if you saw that presser, or there was just it was Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady on Monday or Tuesday on ESPN. And Tom Brady was like, "Oh, so you're a shareholder of the Chicago Bears?" And I was like,
"Why can't Tom Brady say that? He's the greatest quarterback to ever play football."
I mean, we beat him last year on Thursday Night
and
Football.
He won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Would you trade a Super Bowl over beating Tom Brady in the regular season in Week 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's Tom Brady. He can say whatever he wants.
But he thought it was 4th down.
He can still say whatever the fuck he wants. He's the greatest quarterback to ever play football. And you're going to say Tom Brady can't say that? No one liked
my tweet. I didn't get any love on that
because it's he won the Super Bowl. That's why.
I know. But I don't know. Tom Brady's trying to gravel in the ownage which is like clearly it's Aaron Rodgers. Like no one owns the Bears like Aaron Rodgers, but
100%.
And then it's even more depressing. Like listen to Pardon My Take and like Big Cat is like sad too. So I'm like sad through him, like vicariously through Big Cat, also being a Bears fan. But so the Bears are going on the road this game. 12.5-point underdogs. And the over-under is 47. I think this is the second highest over-under for the Bears this year. I think week 1 against the Rams, it was like 48. So
yeah, I think Tampa Bay wins this game. I don't like either side in terms of the spread. I could see Tampa Bay winning by 14. I could see the Bears scoring a late touchdown and lose by 7. I could see the Bears lose by 10. I could see the Tampa Bay win by 20. Like I could see any scenario. I don't feel comfortable in any which way betting the spread in this game. I do think Tampa Bay obviously wins. I could see Tom, like, you know how Tom Brady's like pretty weird. He finds like weird ways to motivate him. And like in reality, if you're Tom Brady, does like losing to the Bears last year and people making fun of you for 4th down really matter? Not at all. But to him, it probably does. Like weirdly, it does. So like
I could see him. That.
Yeah, like being like a weird.
He's like watching that video on replay like 100.
That's what I'm exactly. That's
He's a
what
fucking
I'm saying.
psycho.
That's what I'm saying. So like I could see him throwing for like 6 touchdowns and being like, "Is it 4th down?" Like some stupid shit like that.
I think
so, like,
I actually now that you say something like that, I think him like trolling the Bears like that. He's been kind of doing something small like that every week. Like remember when they played the Falcons and he had like the clock set to 3:28 in the background.
But that's my point is like
that's a good point.
He needs these other different things because it's like in reality, he knows he's going to make the playoffs. And then once the playoffs turn around, he has good of a chance as anyone to win the Super Bowl because he's Tom fucking Brady. And it's like, how do I get through these 18, 17 weeks? I got to find a little bullshit. And whether it's picking on the Bears or the Falcons or this or that, he's picking on the Falcons and he played with the Patriots for the Falcons. So it's like, he's just finding little different things to motivate him. I could see him having a huge game and literally blaming it all on like, oh, Bears fans made fun of me last year for thinking it was 4th down. And it's like, Tom, you really actually pay attention to that? You're Tom fucking Brady, but he might.
Yeah. And also I feel like he didn't really need to do this quite as much with the Patriots. I feel like there was like more of like a fraternity with like the other guys.
Yeah.
Like, they all like kind of were on that same like wavelength of like, wow, I fucking hate everyone on that team this week. Like, I want to fucking kill that dude. I don't really get quite the same vibe out of some of the guys on Tampa Bay, but they're really fucking good. I do think plus 500 is like a decent like number for a sprinkle play at least. Like,
oh my God.
The Bears have played every game close except for week 1. So I'm just saying.
The Browns was not close.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. The Browns was not close
at all.
I will probably dabble a little sprinkle. And
that's because you're a fan.
Yes, I am. So don't bet it. I'm just saying.
All right.
I didn't think it was good, I wouldn't dabble the sprinkle though.
But I feel that.
I also like the over. The Bucks defense is still a little banged up. Justin Fields is getting more comfortable and more comfortable. He's definitely due for more than fucking 14 points. I think he's going to look at all the tape this week. There were so many more opportunities, and especially the past 2 games against the Lions and the Packers, where he can take off. Like he's kind of extending the play in the pocket a little too long, and even when he starts running to the sideline, he can just turn upfield and like take off, but he just his decision making isn't quite there yet, which that's a rookie thing, which I'd rather have him have a decision making problem than like an arm problem.
So, for sure. Yeah.
So maybe. Hopefully,
yeah, probably.
If he can like kind of hone in on that this week, and that's like an extra two like first downs, possibly in crucial spots. But that's just me talking as a Bears fan. And we really wouldn't talk about this game on a normal week, but the bye week's kind of like the Bears are 3-3, Bucks are 5-1, kind of left us no choice. All right, last game. Which one were we gonna do?
Ravens, Bengals.
Oh yeah, that was at the top. My bad. All right,
Yeah.
so Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, possibly the offensive rookie of the year so far.
Yeah.
Going on the road to the seemingly unbeatable Ravens right now. Bengals are coming in at
Yeah.
6.5 point underdogs. Over under looking kind of low at 46.5. Kind of feeling a little trappy there.
Yeah, but both defenses are pretty good. This is an interesting game. I saw some things that like people have been like, you got to consider Joe Burrow for MVP right now. Like consider, not that he's like front runner or anything. He's had a good year.
He's 4-2.
He's played well. The Bengals are pretty good.
Second place.
I just think it's the Ravens are that much better than everyone right now. We've seen the Ravens do this, and then playoff time comes and they get beat. The Ravens right now are a top 3 team in the NFL. And right now, I don't see the Bengals beating them. So I would lean Ravens, especially after the game they had last week. It just seems like they're on a roll. It's under a touchdown, so I would take that.
I think the Bengals are kind of on a revenge tour against their own division. Like when they played they beat the Steelers, right? I'm not thinking of the wrong team.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of this.
It was like week 3, week 2, week 3.
It was.
Yeah, it was the week after the Bears beat the Bengals. Yeah.
Yes.
So it was week 3.
Yes.
I'm kind of feeling a little like revenge tour thing going on, like again, because they've been kind of getting owned out of their minds the past couple. It's kind of like the Bills right now, but it's without Tom Brady, so it's not quite the same. Or same thing. It's like I guess the Chargers are kind of on the same roll right now. I don't know. I like 6.5 divisional game.
Jesus.
I like the Bengals plus 6.5.
Do you like the word divisional?
What's wrong with that?
It just took you like 3 times to say it. Just ask.
No, I said it correctly all 3 times, but I'm emphasizing that's why I like the underdog here. These games tend to be close.
Okay.
I don't know. This game is not on my card, so take that for what.
I would not
on my card.
I agree with that.
Don't take that for anything. Speaking of cards, let's get to them.
I agree.
Again, the picks are going to be a little lower this week, so bear with us. I'll go first. So, like Michael said, me and him are the only 2 of the 4 in our podcast that are positive so far. So it's kind of crucial. You don't really want to dip below the negative side because then you might start putting out more plays each week. You kind of want to keep control.
Yeah.
So you've won 3 weeks of the 6.
Mm-hmm.
I've won 2.
And Zach won 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my first play is going to be the Rams minus the 15.5. Revenge game.
16.5 now.
Oh, what? I did this like 10 minutes ago.
I must have just switched.
Oh, bro, give me the 15.5, please. All right, fuck it. I'll still keep it.
It's still under 17, though.
Yeah, it's not a huge difference. Now it's going to lose, but I'm still taking it. So, revenge game against the old team. I don't think he really has like a ton of hatred for like the Lions, obviously, but you obviously want to crush your former team.
You want to show off the new girlfriend to the old girlfriend. Like, regardless of what it is, you want to show off the new girlfriend. Like, hey, look at this new girlfriend. She's a model. She has a butt.
Look at Robert Woods.
Look at all the attributes she has. Look at this. Look at her legs. Look at her arm. Like, Stafford wants to show off the new girlfriend.
She's got a 401k, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. She's got a 401k. She's got a great job. She flies Mia. Like, yeah, he wants to show off the new girlfriend. So I agree with that. I don't think he hates the old girlfriend, but it's the new girlfriend you want to show off.
But the old girlfriend never let him raw dog.
Probably not. The new girlfriend seems like she's letting him do anal, and the old girlfriend never did.
At least coming in her mouth.
At least.
Okay.
So
that's enough. Okay, we went a little too far there. I also have Raiders -3.
Okay.
Oh fuck, I kind of forgot who the. Oh yeah, at home against the Eagles.
Yep.
I don't know. I think the Raiders are just gonna like kind of roll without. I'm not even gonna say.
Gruden.
Oh, okay. Like that, especially last week against the Broncos, they kind of rolled.
They look good, actually.
I do like Jalen Hurts. I do think Jalen Hurts is like super underrated, like in terms of how much he's being talked about this year. But I think the Raiders have a better like all around team. So I like them. I like them only losing 3 points there. I talked about this earlier. I got the Bears and the Bucks over the 47 points. You thought I was going to say the 500, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. I was hoping.
Depending on how many drinks I have over the weekend, I might add the Bears plus 500. Hopefully it goes up. It'd be great if it got up. Okay. I also this is Monday Night Football. I got Geno Smith and Seattle Seahawks plus the 4.5 points hosting the Saints. Love them plus the points at home. Primetime game. Love it. Saints haven't been consistent enough. Love it. But my do or die pick is actually going to be the Colts on the road against the 49ers plus 4.5.
Wow.
Playing the Jimmy G's of the world. Still no George Kittle, Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is all they have. So that's what I'm going.
That it?
Yep. Just my
pick. All right. I'm going starting off with tonight's game. Cleveland Browns, Denver Broncos under 40.5.
Oh.
No Baker. I think the Broncos offense blows. I'm going under 40.5. Then I am going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs -4.5. The Dolphins +2.5. I am going to go the Niners -4.5. I'm going to ride with you. I do think the Raiders might just ride it out. I'm going to go Raiders -3. And then my do or die is going to be the Miami Dolphins money line +114.
Why would you just make the do or die the fucking spread?
Because I'm going to show you I'm a fucking sharp. That's why. Who's in first place?
Right. That's at least because did you win last week or are you on a 1 losing streak?
It's for do or die. I'm on 1.
Oh, okay. At least you're not in 2.
No, I would have made it the spread.
I respect it. At least it's only 2.5 point difference. But
if it was 3.5, I would have taken that.
And the both of these. Wait. Oh, wait. So Miami played there last week. It played in London last week, though.
Yes.
Whoa. You're riding them. You're riding the team coming back from London.
Yes.
That's scary.
No. It's perfect.
All right.
It's perfect.
I don't know. Is it more of a fuck you, the Falcons, or do you think?
No, I think in reality, the Dolphins should have beat the Jaguars. I did have the Jaguars, but they should have beat them. If they beat them, like the Patriots aren't horrible, and the Dolphins beat the Patriots when Tua started. They've been in a few games and been out of a few games without Tua. They should be technically 2-0 with Tua playing football. I think the Falcons are that bad and don't really care either. So I think you have two teams who don't really care playing football. I think the Dolphins are better with Tua. And so I would say in a game in Miami, the Dolphins need a win to feel good. Brian Flores is kind of now feeling the pressure.
He's a better coach too.
Exactly. I think the Dolphins will win.
All right, that's fair. I just I would have a hard time. Like, I know my do or die was 2 like mediocre teams, but your do or die is like 2 like fucking awful teams.
Yes.
Like I think those games are so hard to like.
But I've been like on the right side of those games all year. Like last week, the Jaguars, Dolphins, 2 horrible teams. I picked the Jags. Like I've honestly have been probably better picking those games than also when we thought the Bengals weren't that good and they played the Jaguars, because that was like right after the week they lost to the Bears. So everyone's like, oh, the Bengals really aren't that good. I had the Jaguars. So like I've been able to pick those type of games and pick them right. So.
Okay. Well, also didn't mention it, but the other two guys' picks will be up on Twitter. They haven't posted them yet. So if you want to see the two guys that are negative so far this season.
Yeah, Ryan's not horrible, but honestly, if I were you guys, like the best advice we could give you is fade Zach.
Yeah.
You'd be plus almost 13 units, which is a lot of fucking money. Even if you did $10 units,
probably
you'd be up 130
because he hit a fucking first touchdown prop
right. Like you're probably
they would actually be up like 15, 16 if they're only betting the game.
No, they'd be up like 20
or like 17, 18.
No, it'd be up more.
Just because you don't get as many like units when you win.
I know, but what I'm saying is if you would take all of the opposites, he had a plus 800 hit. Yeah. So that's 8 units. He'd be minus 21 units.
Yeah. So yeah, you'd be up like
19 to 20 units.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, if you did $10 units, which unless you're just now betting, like a lot of people don't do $10 units. It's at least 15 to 20, you know,
$200.
It's $200 with $10 units.
And
it's a lot of fucking money.
If you have a $25 unit, that's $500.
Yeah, like that's a lot of money. Like our best advice to you would be to go follow Victory Lap Bets every time Zach posts picks, fade him. NFL picks, fade him. Honestly, college too. He's been pretty horrible in college. So if you just fade Zach this year, you're almost up $1,000.
Yeah, you might as well keep doing it until it lets you down. The only reason he had one good week was because of the first touchdown prop that hit. And he's been doing that every week. So obviously you can't really fade the first touchdown bets, but you can fade all the other shit and you're probably up, like we said, 18, 19.
You could also, he's only been doing the first touchdown bet the past 3 weeks. You could just ride with it. You'd be up 6 units on it.
Yeah, at least 4.
No, because he's done it. Well, yeah, he's done more than one. At least so probably 4. Yeah,
but still, that's not bad.
It's good. So
I haven't hit a first touchdown all year, so I'm kind of jealous.
I feel that. That.
All good?
Yeah, all good.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Make sure, like we said, check the picks out on Twitter. If you have a team that you'd like us to talk about that maybe we don't really talk about or haven't talked about much, like reply to the tweet for this video or DM us or comment on this YouTube. Also be on subscribe. Hit the subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 so we can do some live streams for college and NFL, at least by the playoffs. That'd be awesome. We'll all get together, fucking go crazy probably. Also, Michael, you want to talk about our sponsor real quick?
Yes, our sponsor, Westwind Brewery. Friday night, we will all be over there at Westwind Brewery, drinking, having a good time in Elkhart, Indiana. Everyone should go check them out. Even if you can't make it Friday night, go pop in there, check them out, check out their all different sorts of types of beers that they have. And if you go in, tell them Victory Lap Media sent you. And like I said, we'll all be out there Friday night getting drunk before the Notre Dame USC game. So we hope to see you.
Yeah. Also, like, you don't have to be a Notre Dame fan. Like, if you hate Notre Dame, there's probably going to be some people there that also don't like Notre Dame. So don't feel hesitant to come just because it's a bunch of Notre Dame fans. Like,
yes,
there'll be some people that aren't. So
for sure,
hit them up. Follow their Twitter too.
Yep.
They post specials and stuff too. So check them out.
Yep.
Thanks again for listening. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.